Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, February 1st. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we'll get started shortly. There's a couple of things here to update. All right. Few more things here, and we should be good to go. All right. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. There we go. All right, so we'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. See, one last place to post this up. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, February 1st. It is 6:27 right now. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes. I'm going to give it a few more moments for people to make their way in, and then we will get started shortly. All right, cool. Looks like people are still joining. So let me check the calendar real quick. I think we had news this morning. We had news over here at 5:15 and ADP non-farm employment change. It was negative. And then we have news over here at 7 and 7:30. So let me go ahead and mark that up real quick. 5:15 news, which was right there. And then we have news at 7 and 7:30, I believe. Yeah, looks about right. All right, cool. So it looks like the majority of you guys are here so far. So let me see if there's anything here that I need to look at before we get started with the session this morning. All right, so I got the news marked up right there. Let me see if there's any other news coming up right here on the other. So we have 5:15, sorry, 6:45. There's a lot of news today, actually. 5:15, 6:45, 7, 7:30, and I think that's it. And then we have the Fed speaking later today at 11. So, all right, guys, looks like, let's see who's here so far. All right, morning, Keonia, morning, Vince, morning, Peter, morning, Kenny. Morning, Karen, morning, Martha, morning, Steve, morning, Shaka, morning, Maria, morning, Rashida, morning, Van Hartwig, morning, Shannon, morning, Slava, morning, Stern, morning, everybody. So, all right, guys, today is Wednesday, February 1st. It is about to be market open right now, 6:29. Market's opening in about 30 seconds. Looking over here on the higher time frames, there's no alignment of direction. Right here, you can see the 1 hour is currently neutral, 30 minutes neutral, and the 10-minute here is bearish. So with that said, there's no breakout 2.0 for the day. There just hasn't been an alignment with direction of price. So there hasn't been a breakout. Looking over here on the shorter time frames, you can see the 10 minutes bearish, 5 minutes bearish, and the 1 minute's bearish here. Since price is below the pivots are angling down, and the trend meter is red across the board. So with that said, it's going to look like we're looking for sells today. But we'll see what happens in the market opens shortly, because, you know, obviously there was news pre-market at 5:15. It was high impact, and we'll see how the market reacts to that news. So let me go ahead and mark up opening price right there. We have opening price with the blue line. We have news price with the pink line. And then we have a couple more news events coming up over here at 6:45, 7, and 7:30. Let me check my FX book to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. I don't think so. 6:45, 7, and 7:30. Looks like we're good. All right, so we have all the news marked up. Market is now open, guys. We'll see how this pushes around. We're gonna be looking for sells, obviously, today. I'm gonna go ahead and maximize the screen over here so I can put the requirements for pretty much all the strategies that we're looking to apply. So big drop right here for a sell. It's moving pretty much how we, obviously anticipated. So we got the momentum scalp failure right there. We already anticipated a sell, so that's kind of what we're looking for. What we need here is we need a buy signal in the opposite direction of the trend so that we can look for a momentum scalp failure. After that momentum scalp failure, we will be looking for a momentum scalp variation. And then after that momentum scalp variation, we'll be looking for a momentum scalp, obviously. So, all right, guys, we got the setup right here. We're pretty much just waiting for the, obviously the position to play out. So it's gonna be a matter of time right here until we get something. So we currently have we don't have a sell signal yet, but we have a sell signal that's pending. This right here is technically a momentum scalp variation because we have a buy signal here. This was a momentum scalp failure. However, it's right at opening price. And then we also had a momentum scalp variation that came up right here. If the sell signal closes, there's technically a momentum scalp entry there, but it's right at the sessions. So if we get a sell signal right here, it's going to be a third leg to this strategy confluence over here. So we already have the first entry right here, which is a momentum scalp failure. This one would have came up over here on the screen kettle, right? Because we had a bearish trend. Everything here was bearish. We had a buy signal right there in the opposite direction of the trend. Volume was below average. This would have been an entry, but this was pre-market at 620. So that's a momentum scalp failure. The candle right here, this red one that closed below, would have been a momentum scalp variation. So depending on which entries you would have taken, there was actually two entries that came up here. There's one right there. That would have been a full TP. Another one right here. This would have been full TP. And then if there's a sell signal that comes up anywhere down here, that'd be another full TP. However, price is right at the session, so that's going to be one of the red flags. We're not going to take any trades at any of these horizontal lines. So just to make things as simple as possible. Whenever price is near any of these horizontal lines, red, blue, pink, or purple, we're not going to be taking any trades around those areas. So nothing for us to, really take right there specifically. So we're just going to wait for something to play out here. Probably just look for another buy signal if we can get one. And then once we get that buy signal, we'll be able to look for the momentum scalp failure, and then it'll reset the entire setup over here. Let's see. Christian said, good morning. There was a setup for a variation, but it was before market open and news price. Yeah, exactly, Christian. That was one that I was looking at earlier here. There was one that was, well, not news price, but it was right at opening price. Or if you're talking about the one up here, this one as well. There's a couple entries here. There's a lot, actually. So there's a couple pre-market entries here. So here's one of the well, not really triple confluence, but the trifecta of strategies. There's one right here with 3 entries. There was another one right here. And then there was a bunch right here. There's a bunch. So every time you got a buy signal here, it was pretty much a setup for all these 3 strategies because it was bearish all throughout London session. So if you traded pre-market, there were, quite a bit of opportunities here to take trades. Obviously, I don't trade pre-market. I did take one trade. So later on, when I post my profits, guys, I will post up my profits that I took pre-market. I actually took, the momentum scalp variation here. So this was before market open. So I already saw this setup right here when I woke up this morning. I was like, okay, 620. And I saw this come up and I was like, okay, this might hit my TP before. But what happened was price started to retrace up a little bit and it got close to market open here. So I just pulled out for a small profit. So I'll take a screenshot of my account real quick so that you guys can see for the day. And I took one trade here, just a really slight one pre-market. But basically, we're looking for a buy signal here, guys. So until we get a buy signal, there's no entries for us to take here. I typically don't trade pre-market, but it just looked like such a good entry, so I took it for a quick entry. I had to take it, I had to pull out early though, like I mentioned, because price kind of just retraced up a little bit. I got caught in the spread, and then right here before market open, I just closed out for a small profit. This is the one that I took right here. But I didn't have the opportunity to take the full move. I basically closed out like right here, slightly in profit. So you can see on my main account, I made 660. My FT1 number 2 made 660. MFFs, all three accounts made 610 each. And then my TFF, of course, he only gave me 66. So that's basically what I locked in pre-market. But it's all right because I typically don't take trades pre-market. Just look like something good there. Let's see, hey T, how's it going? Morning AR, morning Garish. Morning, nice. Hey, Daniel, how's it going? Daniel said, hey, Sean, check CNBC News. Is there news today? I didn't see anything. So here's CNBC. I see that there's a breaking news here. Dow opens more than 200 points lower than as traders await federal rates hike decision. Yeah, so we have today's Fed day. So the Fed's going to be speaking later at 11 today. So we might see like some slow movement until then, but you know, it might pick up a bit. So looking over here across the board, we have the Dow, it's down 184 points. S&P is down 13 points. NASDAQ's down 36 points. Russell 2000 is up 46 points. And the VIX is up 1%. So pretty much all the indices here, the main ones, are currently bearish right now. Russell 2000 is up slightly. VIX is slightly up, but it looks like there's a lot of uncertainty right now with regard to, you know, direction of price because today is Fed day. We have news coming up right here at 6:45. We have another news event over here at 7, and then one last one over here at 7:30, and then the big news events come later post market. So, well, not post market, but post live session. So, a couple of profits over here. Let me see who posted some profits. Well, I did myself, and then also Sisuk over here posted a profit. He locked in 1,150. Nice for Sisuk. Looks like he took a variation there. And then Kip over here as well. He took the same trade, locked in 1,990. So it looks like a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but a couple of people here, Maddie as well, took the variation right there. Total profit of 240. Nice work, Maddie. So it looks like a lot of people here, we're not a lot, but a good handful took the same sell that I took earlier. However, it looks like I got in a little late. So I wasn't able to lock in the full profit. I had to just pull out before this. If I held on to it, it would have hit TP, but I was basically gambling at that point if I was to trade on market open. So if there's any questions, guys. Sorry, guys, my bad. It's got David over here. Let me try to fix his account. All right, so if there's any questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. There's nothing for us to take right now, so we're not really missing on anything. There's pending sell signal right here, or pending sell signal on the 1 minute. This right here may possibly be a momentum scalp entry, guys. However, like I mentioned earlier, you can see that it's too close to the sessions below here. So we're not going to be able to take this trade. I mean, if you wanted to take it for a quick 100 pips, possibly, but I probably wouldn't take it. I'd probably hold off and wait for everything to reset over again. But yeah, we're basically waiting for a buy signal to come up, guys. We need a sell signal before we can get a buy signal, but I'm basically waiting for everything to reset, because we already had the buy signal over here, and then everything pretty much played out except for the momentum scalp. It's kind of far off from this buy signal prior. So and this was pre-market as well. So I'm basically looking for everything to reset here. We need a sell signal to come up. Once that sell signal comes up, we can get a buy signal, and once we get that buy signal, we can start over and look for a momentum scalp failure. So pretty much just waiting for everything to set up here, but we just don't have it at the moment. what David's username is. So it looks like some of you guys here posted some profits. I'll take a look at that as well. And I'll also take a look at any questions here if there are any. But pretty much we're just waiting for a sell signal to come up. And then once we have that sell signal, we're going to look for a buy signal. And once we get that buy signal, then we can start looking for a momentum scalp failure to come up. But until then, we're just pretty much going to be waiting for something to confirm. So I'm just trying to help David in the background. All right, so a couple more profits over here from David. So David just posted his profits. He took some sells, locked in 23 for the day. Nice work, David. All wins, no losses. So solid profits right there. We have some more profits over here from Slava. So Slava over here on his first account, he locked in 1,023. Nice work right there, Slava. And then Slava's second account locked in a total profit of 860. Nice work, Slava, on this one as well. And then Slava's third account, he locked in 1,646. So great work right there, Slava. Looks like he pretty much took the same trade that I took earlier along with everyone else. I'll take a screenshot of my profits as well. But we just don't have anything for us to take right now, guys. So price is currently at opening price right here on the blue line. We have news coming up right here at 6:45. So we're probably not going to take anything until news is passed. But once news is passed, we're basically looking for a sell signal. And then once price is kind of made its stride to the bottom end, we're going to look for price to retrace, and then we're going to look for a momentum scalp failure. But in order to look for any of that stuff, we need to have a sell signal come up first. So looking over here on the 10-minute, looking over here on the 5-minute, you can see price is bearish, and the reason for that is because price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. Same with the 10-minute over here. However, here on the 1-minute, you can see that price is starting to shift to the upside. The trend meter is now blue, indicating that price and trend is currently neutral. And price is above the pivot, so this might be shifting to the upside. So there's no alignment of trend, and with no alignment of trend, there's not going to be any entry with regard to any of these strategies. So unfortunately, guys, I know for a lot of guys here who are part of the mentorship for February, you were expecting there to be like some smooth movement, but the first week of every month is NFP week, so this is kind of expected. Typically, Monday through Wednesday, it's going to be a little bit choppy, and then it starts to pick up once news starts to become released. So I think after today, once the Fed releases the interest rates, or if they're going to be increasing or decreasing interest rates, it's going to affect the market, and we'll start to be able to trade in a direction. But however, right now, it's not really playing out like that because there's just too much stuff going on this week. So a lot of people are kind of just basically gambling. As you can see over here from the update, it said Dow opens more than 200 points lower as traders await Federal Reserve's rate hike decision. And this doesn't happen until 11 o'clock today. So you can see that a lot of people are just waiting. That's why you see a lot of back and forth movement. There's no clear direction because people just don't know what the rate hike decision is going to be for, right? My guess is that it's going to have to increase, right? Because we're going to recession. So we have to wait and see what they release. I mean, at this point, a lot of people are just gambling the market, trying to catch that volatility, but we'll see. Some breaking news over here says FBI searching Biden's home in Delaware. It's crazy, a lot of stuff going on today. So let me see if there's any other news here. I don't think there's anything else for us to really look at. I mean, the main thing we're looking for today is the news. So we have news right here at 6:45. We'll see if this pushes price one direction or the other. And then we have news here at 7 and then news at 7:30. But other than that, there's not really much for us to look at right now. We have a sell signal here pending, but it is right at the news price. So we won't be able to take this as a momentum scalp, even though it's coming up right there. So see if there's anything else here for me to look at. So some more profits here from Vincent. Let's see. Vincent just posted his profits, locking a total profit of 85.79. Nice work, Vincent. So solid profits right there. Vincent took the buy signal and it swung up right there. Quick 100 pips, in and out, smooth. CC said nap time. All right, so what I'm going to do right here, guys, is I'm going to screenshot my profits real quick, just my individual profits so that you guys can see, and then we'll go from there. So we got news price right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark it up. So there we go with news price. I'll check the news slightly, see if it's really moving in that direction. But first, I'm going to take a screenshot. Of my accounts. So you guys will see I made a slight profit. Nothing crazy. I had to close out early because the market was opening. And my TFF, of course. All right, so let me go to the group real quick. All right, so I just posted on my profits over here. Let's see, my trading view or my Telegram is kind of lagging right now. All right, so pulling up news over here. Peter said news was neutral. So there's not really much here. Let me update this real quick. So the news over here at 6:45 was a final manufacturing PMI. It was neutral, so not really much of a stance right there. We have high impact news coming over here at 7 o'clock. We have ISM manufacturing PMI, JOLTS job openings, construction spending, and ISM manufacturing prices. We got some high impact news coming up shortly over here at 7 o'clock. Price kind of pushed up above over here slightly. Again, guys, in order for us to have any entries, let me just go ahead and clean this up a little bit. The first requirement here is to confirm the overall trend, right? This is pretty much the first requirement on any of the three strategies that we're applying here on the live session. So looking over here, first confirm overall trend on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute time frames. You're going to do the same thing for the momentum scalp and the same thing for the momentum scalp variation. So with that said, looking over here on the 1 minute, you can see that price is currently bullish, right? And the reason for that is because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up. Looking over here on the higher time frames, the 5 and 10, you can see that price is still bearish, right? Because price is below the pivots are angling down, and the trend meter is red. Same with the 10 minute over here, price is below the pivots are angling down, and the trend meter is red. So with that said, we don't have an overall direction of trend right now. And until we get that, we can't really take any trades. So at the moment, we don't have anything to take right now, guys. Unfortunately, the market's been like this for the past couple of weeks where it hasn't been very directional. Typically, it'll move back and forth throughout the morning. And then as we get to the middle of the session around 7:30, closer to 8, price starts to move more directional. So no entry for us right here. It's just going to be a matter of patience and a lot of discipline, because I know a lot of you guys are getting FOMO here and you guys want to enter trades right away because we haven't had many trades at all for the past 2 days due to the market conditions. So just sit on your hands, guys. Don't force anything. Yeah, these over here. Will said my mindset's very off these days. I'm about to fail my challenge, so I'll come back tomorrow. Yeah, no, unless you're trade psychology is on point, Will, then you should, just sit out of the market. There's no reason to force anything, especially if you're like your trade psychology is not there, because you don't want to like hop into a trade and then trade goes opposite. Of course, right now there's like no direction, so it's best for you to probably hold off and just wait. Thanks, Christian. Christian said a buy signal closed on the 5-minute. Let's see. Malcolm said, you show us profits from unofficial speculative pre-market trades. So how often are we not supposed to get FOMO daily? I mean, if you get FOMO, that's your problem, right? That's not my problem. You don't have the trade psychology to to not take a trade. So, I mean, your question is asking, how are we not supposed to? You're not supposed to, because you're supposed to know how to control it yourself, right? I'm not you. I can't keep you from not taking any trades. So, I mean, I don't have FOMO. I could have taken a bunch of trades yesterday, right? So if you guys saw yesterday over here, let me show you everyone's profits from yesterday. And these aren't even mine. So CSUC over here took how many trades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could have got FOMO from that too, right? But I didn't, because I know how to control my FOMO. So, I mean, your question, Malcolm, is kind of, I don't know how to answer that, right? You're asking how do you not get FOMO? I don't get FOMO, so I have control over it. But for me to tell you how to not get FOMO, I don't know how I'd be able to do that, because people get FOMO on their own. It's your own trade psychology that causes you to take the trades, right? So I know, Maddie. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. You have to be able to control your own FOMO, because everyone's different, right? So like you'll see here that a lot of people will be making trades here. Like me, I took 3 trades yesterday, but I could have taken like 6, 7, 8, 9 trades like everyone else, right? Patricia over here took how many trades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I took 3 trades. So I mean, I would say I have control over my FOMO. Yeah, Christian says it's called being disciplined. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. It's really just being disciplined and consistent, right? I'm rinsing and repeating the process every day. Yeah, even though there's no official trades here, I'm still not taking as many trades as everyone else. There's other people here who are taking trades directly off my analysis. Like yesterday, I didn't take any official trades. I did take a pre-market trade today. And then also yesterday, I pretty much gave analysis throughout the day, and people were taking trades off that analysis, right? And Song over here took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades. Basically everybody here took more trades than me. So, I mean, I have control over it, but I don't have control over everybody else's account, right? Like people are getting FOMO here, and yeah, they're still hitting profits, but that's because they know what they're doing. So if you know what you're doing, you can take the trades, but I don't have control over your account or your ability to hit that buy or sell button or anything like that. So, it's all up to preference. If you feel comfortable about taking a trade, and if you understand my other strategies, because there's other entries that you can take here, right? But you can't be on the free YouTube and expect to like have the ability to take all these trades. If you have my indicators here, and you guys have all my strategies, because I have about 20 strategies here. That's why a lot of other people are taking different strategies. But on these live sessions, we're only taking 3 trades here. So we're taking these 3 different types of strategies right here, but there's other people in the group who know my other strategies. So yeah, of course, if you're familiar with my other strategies and you have access to the indicators and the strategies, then you can take them. But if you're on the YouTube just waiting for, official entries, you just got to wait. You got to pay to play, basically. Unless you know what you're doing, then you can take more trades. But if not, then you just got to sit and wait for these official entries to come in, which haven't came in yet. That's the whole point of being consistent, right? Like if you guys look at my profits every day, yeah, sometimes I do take pre-market. Sometimes I take, very rarely. The only time I took a pre-market was today. Yesterday, I did take some speculative moves because they were based off my analysis, but those trades aren't always going to come out that way. But if you're just taking trades, like for example, the official trades. So if you took official trades for this year so far, our current stats for the year so far, let me just go up to Friday of last week. Friday of last week was, let me see if I can scroll up real quick. So when I posted the profits from Friday, or not the profits, but just the trades in general. So for this year so far, we're currently up 17 wins and 2 losses. These are official trades, right? So if you could be patient, this is how much you should be up right now. A 10% gain for the month of January. So you just got to wait for, these official entries to come up. It's quality over quantity. That's really what it is. But if you get FOMO, I mean, that's on you. If you want to FOMO into these trades or not. But if you don't know what you're doing, then obviously you shouldn't be FOMO into trades. Okay. So anyways, back to what we're looking at over here. There's still no entries for us to take at the moment. It is, price is currently over here at the sessions and the news price. So there's nothing for us to take at the moment. We are just waiting for these entries to play out. So until we get an overall trend, there's not going to be any entries for us to take. So looking at this over here, we still have price above the pivots. Until price comes below here, we're not going to have a bearish trend. So everything's bearish on the other time frames, or somewhat bearish. The 5 minute over here is now neutral, but if price comes back below here, then it'll be back to being bearish. So basically what we're waiting for here is we're waiting for everything to align. Until everything here aligns, there's not going to be any time for any entries that we could be making here. Yeah, Brock said still working on quantity over. I think you got it backwards, Brock. So Brock said still working on quantity over quality. Yeah, so you should be working on quality over quantity, right? Because your trades too, Brock. So you guys will see Brock sometimes post up his profits. I have Brock over here. Actually sent some profits here. So Brock said, good day, Sean. Missed a session yesterday. My target was solid. Obviously from a little risk applied above, hence several positions. Now we'll only trade if you call one official one. So like, yeah, what Brock said over here, because Brock has an issue with over trading as well, right? So Brock over here he took basically all these trades. Like, so just looking at your trades right here, Brock, all of your losses happened last night, and it looks like you took some GU trades that you don't typically trade. I mean, you did make profit, but as you mentioned, you're working on taking quality trades over the quantity of trades. I've actually never seen you trade GU before, but all your GU trades lost. I'm like kind of curious why you took those trades. Was it just like random? And you thought it would hit? Because I mean, all of your US30 trades here are perfectly fine. Yeah, so everything over here, you took US30 trades. So I've actually never seen you trade GU before. Shannon over here posted some profits. She said 3 and over this week. So Shannon's currently at 4,480 for the day. Nice work, Shannon. Eunice over here as well. Eunice is currently at 4,450 for the day. Nice work, Eunice. All wins. So let me scroll over here real quick. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so that makes sense, Brock. And my Telegram keeps having issues here. So I'm still looking over here on the timeframes, guys. Don't worry. I know we're kind of going off topic. I'm answering questions, but there's nothing for us to take right now. Looking over here on the 10, there's currently nothing going on over here because I mean there's no direction of trend. So the 10 minute over here is currently neutral. It's right in between the pivots. 5 minute here is above the pivots, and the 1 minute over here is above the pivots as well. So with that said, we just don't have anything right here. 10 minutes currently bearish long term. 5 minute over here is bearish as well, and the 1 minute over here is currently bullish. So bearish, neutral, bullish. In order for us to have an entry here, we need everything to line up. So everything needs to be bullish or everything needs to be bearish in order for us to take something there. Hey, Gactive, how's it going? Morning. All right, so let's see. Malcolm said in yesterday's session at 129. I don't know what time is 129 for you, Malcolm, because it's 6:59 here. And then on the East Coast, it's 9:59. So I'm not sure where you're located or like what time that is. I'm assuming that was well, whatever, the time doesn't matter. Let me just read what you said here. So you said at that specific time, you said you had a FOMO on a trade, not asking you to press a button, just showing you learner's perspective of how it can seem inconsistent when following along. Well, I pretty much lay it out directly for you, right, Malcolm? So like every day I tell you we're only taking these trades. These are the only official trades, right? And I always tell you guys that if you're looking for a trade here, if you don't know what you're doing, then you're only going to look for this. So I already set it out for you. So I don't understand how you can get FOMO if I'm already telling you up front, this is what you're looking for, right? So if you just follow along and pay attention, then you know what to look for. Even if I get FOMO, it doesn't make a difference for a learning perspective because I'm already telling you up front, this is what you're looking for. So if you see me take a FOMO trade, why would you take that if I already told you this is what you're looking for, right? And whenever I take a FOMO trade, I never tell you that I'm taking the FOMO trade. I just take the trade myself because it doesn't matter how long you've been trading. I've been trading for over 10 years. I still get FOMO. It's not like it goes away. It's just I'm better at controlling it. Or if I do take a FOMO trade, it's because I know where price is going. Does that make sense, Malcolm? I'm trying to explain to you because like, it seems like you sound kind of salty because you're not getting into these trades, but you know, what would you rather have? Would you rather be salty and not have any losses, or would you rather be salty and risk a trade and then blame it on me, right? You can't blame it on me because I told you not to take the trade. So that's what I'm trying to get across to you that, you know, people like, and there's other people here that are having their input in the group too. They said, maybe you shouldn't trade if you get FOMO. Exactly, right? If you can't control yourself with like getting FOMO here, I mean, that's the whole point of learning. You're supposed to make mistakes. So yeah, you can get FOMO and you can lose a trade. And then as long as you understand that, okay, you FOMOed into that trade and you lost because you hopped into something that you shouldn't have, then yeah, at that point, you know, you at least learn from it. But if you're like, if FOMO is like the problem for you, then that's not something I can't help you with, right? Like you shouldn't get FOMO because I'm telling you guys, like whenever I take these trades, like the trades from yesterday, I took these trades and then I'm the one that told you, okay, I took this trade because I got FOMO. That shouldn't transition to you. Just because I got FOMO doesn't mean you should get FOMO. If you get FOMO on your own, that's your problem, right? So I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know how to like explain it as much to you guys, but people get FOMO. It doesn't matter how long you've been trading. If you see that a trade's moving in a direction and I have an idea where it's going, and I get FOMO, I'm telling you I'm getting FOMO because I'm being transparent to you guys. I'm not like, okay, I took this trade because this entry came up. I'm like, no, I took this trade because I got FOMO and I actually took it and it hit TP. But it doesn't mean that you have to take the trade too. If you follow directions and just listen to what I'm telling you, you should have no problem. But if you're getting FOMO, I don't have any control over that. So, all right, guys. We'll keep going along with this. I mean, I'll try to help you guys as much as possible, but I don't have control over your account. Like I'm not there to tell you to do this and that. I can tell you to do something exactly step by step, and you could still do the complete opposite. So that's what I'm trying to get across to you guys. You guys are still in control of your account. You guys can listen to what I'm telling you guys here, and I can tell you what to look for, but it doesn't mean that you're going to listen, right? Everyone's in control of their own account. Everyone's in control of their own actions. That's all that I could. Yeah, exactly. Natasha said it happens. Just take official trades with Sean only. I get it too. Yeah, same with Natasha. So it's not something that I have control over, guys. Like, you know, if you guys make mistakes trading and you guys blow accounts, it's not from taking what I'm referring to here, but that's kind of like what you're doing on your own. But I mean, it shouldn't be a problem for anybody because nobody here is really blowing accounts, right? You guys have seen every day, everyone's here pretty much consistent, just taking trades off my analysis and for things that we're looking for here. But anyways, back to the charts, guys. It looks like price is finally back below here. And we are now looking for, I mean, we've been looking for sells pretty much all day, but we do have now a confirmation that everything is now below. So right here on the 5-minute, price is below the pivots. 10-minute over here, price is below the pivots as well. And the 1 minute over here, price is now confirmed. So we currently have a bearish trend over here. In order for us to look for an entry here for the first strategy that we're looking for on the live session. So again, just a reminder, guys, these are the only strategies that we're looking for on the live session. Any strategies that anybody's applying, I know I have like 20 different strategies here, but you guys can't be on the free YouTube expecting to understand these strategies, right? I'm not going over these strategies for you guys. If you guys have these strategies or the indicators, you guys can apply this yourself on your own time when you guys see the entries. But for this live session, again, we're only focusing on these 3 strategies. So if these strategies don't come up, then there's nothing that you guys should take, right? If I tell you, okay, this entry is going to come up and these requirements are met, then yeah, go ahead and take that entry. But if people are taking other entries and I'm taking entries with them sometimes, that's because we're applying different strategies that are not listed here. But you know, you can't like expect to understand what everybody else is doing unless you have access to the indicators and the strategies here. So let's see. So, all right, guys, other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that so basically we're just looking for a buy signal to come up here, guys. So I want to make sure everybody's on the same page, right? Again, just a reminder, guys, there was news price right here. I just checked that up. Another reminder, guys, the only strategies that we're applying here on the live session are going to be these three right here, right? Because I don't want people to get confused. So if we don't have any entries here, these are the only official entries. If you guys have seen for this week, there hasn't been any official entries, right? I've been taking trades on my own. Well, this was technically one of the strategies, but it was pre-market. So I wasn't on the live yet when this came up. It did play out, but it wasn't one that we're counting. The only trades that count here for the official results are the ones that we take here on the live and the ones that I actually call for these three right here. Anything else that people take, because you've seen other people have posted profits here, like Maddie posted some trades over here. Locked in some profit here. He locked in 505, but you can see right here that he marked up his trade, right? He didn't take an official entry. He didn't take one of these here. He took a high-low scalp. So if you guys have my indicators and my strategies, you guys could have taken this trade too. That's going to be this one right here. And that's how you would get access. Like, that's how you take this trade. So the only way to take this trade here on your own, this is the one that Maddie took, the high-low scalp strategy. You would need the indicators and the strategies, right? That's how you would be able to take these entries. So that's one here that Maddie took. Again, I didn't get FOMO on this. Nobody should have gotten FOMO on this unless you knew that the strategy, was coming out, right? Because I didn't take it because I didn't see it, obviously. But Maddie took it because he identified that as a high-low scalp entry. So again, guys, to keep yourself from getting FOMO, just look at these entries right here. And only take trades when they're official. That's pretty much all that you have to focus on. Christian said, I can't believe he's actually blaming Sean when every time he is mentioning what official trades are. No, I mean, it's just that there's a confusion, right? There's just a miscommunication there. Like, you guys have to understand that these are only the official trades that we're looking for. I don't have control over like other people's accounts. Let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. So Kip's mentioning, he said recommendation to new members and old members actually. Set your trading view time to Pacific time. You'll be on the same time as Sean for his analysis, and it'll help when you ask questions. Yeah, no, and I agree with you, Kip. If you guys want to set your time to Pacific time, that's basically the time that I'm trading on. So I can give you, proper analysis if we're looking for a specific time for entry. But again, guys, back to the charts over here. We currently have a bearish bias. We're looking for a buy signal to come up. So in order for us to have an entry here, we're looking for a buy signal to come up. That buy signal is going to confirm an entry for a momentum scalp failure. However, for this momentum scalp failure, we need to make sure that volume is below average. So looking at this right here, first requirement, confirm overall trend. Right here on the 1 minute, we have price that's currently bearish because price is below the pivots. Pivots are angling down and the trend meter is currently red. Looking over here on the 5 minute, we have the same thing. Price here is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. Lastly, here on the 10 minute, we have the same thing. Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and pivots are angling down. So with that said, we are going to be looking for possible entry here for a sell. Next requirement for the momentum scalp failure is going to be a retracement momentum signal. So we're looking for a buy signal here to retrace up. Once we have that retrace up right here, we're going to be looking for it to come back down. And once we have that there, we just need to confirm that volume is below average. Once we confirm all those three things, we can take entry here for momentum scalp failure, but we don't have a buy signal yet. So there's nothing for us to take right now specifically. Let me scroll down a little bit and see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Yeah, Ruin said if profits cause FOMO, then put the Telegram channel on silent. Yeah, guys. So here's another thing too that I want to remind you guys. You guys should never focus on other people's profits, right? That's one thing that I learned along the way as well when I was trading, and even like trading with you guys in a group, because prior I was always trading by myself. So I was never looking at people's profits. And I can see why people will possibly get FOMO from looking at everyone here posting profits over here. So like sometimes you'll be in the group and you're like, okay, people are posting profits. Why am I not making profits, right? If this bothers you that people are making profits and you're not, then what I recommend is to just silence the chat or just close the Telegram all completely. Because one of the big things that people run into with trading is that they're too focused on what other people are doing. So like what happens here during this week, we haven't had any official trades, right? I can be straight up with you. There's no official trades that came up this week. So with that said, with this here, if you guys are getting FOMO or you guys are feeling that you're missing out because other people are making profits, then what I'd recommend is to just close the Telegram or just don't look at anybody's profits. Because what happens a lot of times in the future, or not in the future, but in the past, is that people will focus on what other people are doing. Because I've seen people before, like I think Steven is one of the people in the groups where he was doing good. Like if you remember Steve, oh, he's not even in here right now. Let's see. Yeah, so if you guys remember Steven over here, I mean, he's been part of the group for like years now, so you guys already know how he's been. If you guys saw his profits like last year, you can see every single day he was making a ton of profits. He had straight wins every single day, right? But what happened was as soon as he got funded, he started to get some FOMO because he started to see other people's profits. And when he saw other people's profits, he took his own trades and then he ended up blowing his account. So, one thing that he needed to work on was to stop looking at other people's profits. So what he did was he stopped attending like certain things that would cause him to be focused on other profits. So, I mean, it's hard to really like give you guys a clear path to like avoid yourself from getting caught in these pit holes. But yeah, like what Ruin said, if profits are like what kind of influence you to take trades that are not really there, then you should probably just close Telegram or just not participate in the community. I mean, I know it sucks because you want to, but during live sessions or during the time of your trading, it's probably best to hold off and open the community like after you're done trading for the day. Because like for myself, guys, like I trade until 8 o'clock, and then once 8 o'clock closes, I'm pretty much done. I close out my MT4 and then I go on with my day. So I don't really take any trades after 8, but you'll see a lot of other people here who still take trades, after the live session. Like the live session over here would like I could just show you guys people's profits over here. Where's the save thing at? So I was done trading yesterday at 8, right? But you can see people here were still trading after 8. So this is like 8:02, Steven locked in more profit. We had other people over here, like Nathan over here locked in like profit as well. Zach locking profit. So people traded after 8. But what I do is I just close it out. So I pretty much just shut out Telegram. So you guys will see sometimes I'll get off the live and then you guys won't get a message from me for like another 4 hours or so, because I'm usually out doing something else rather than, getting FOMO on these charts. All right, so we currently have a buy signal right here, guys. This is a momentum scalp failure. I typically don't take this first trade over here, guys. So let me go ahead and just mark everything up. So this is a momentum scalp failure entry, but I'm looking for a momentum scalp variation. All right, I typically don't take the first one because the first one's like the first leg of the move. I'm looking for the one after it. So what I'm looking for next is I'm looking for this to close below the pivots right there. I'm trying to see what my TP stop loss should be. All right, if this closes below the pivots, this is going to be a momentum scalp. Sorry, it's not going to be a variation because there's no sell signal here. So I'm not taking this trade right here, guys, because it doesn't fit the criteria. There's no sell signal here on the 5 and 10. So the momentum scalp failure over here did hit. However, this right here is not going to be a momentum scalp variation. I mean, it's still technically running right now. The momentum scalp failure is technically running, but there's no momentum scalp variation. I'll go over the requirements over here real quick to show you guys. So for the momentum scalp failure, this right here, this buy signal is going to be the entry. I'm not in this position though. So, no FOMO here, and I'm not going to be obviously this is not going to count as one of the trades because I didn't take the trade. The only trades that count as official entries are the ones that I actually take and the ones that I recommend that this is, a valid entry. So this right here is an entry for a momentum scalp failure. The one thing that might be a little iffy with determining, which direction to be or what TP stop loss to use is if you use 130, this would hit TP already. But if you're using a 25.50, this would technically still be running. Looking at the requirements here, first you want to confirm overall trend. Everything here is bearish because price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. Looking over here at the retracement momentum signal, we have the buy signal right there. And then for step 3, you want to confirm volume is below average, which it is. You can see right here that price is below average on the bottom. And you would enter on the close of the retracement signal. So this right here is technically the momentum scalp failure that's currently running. And then now I'm going to explain to you why the next entry over here was not a momentum scalp variation. So for the strategy over here, first you want to confirm the overall trend. We already confirmed that everything here is bearish. Second, you want to confirm a momentum aligns on the 5 and 10. So looking over here on the 5 and 10, we do have a sell signal now, but at the time of this entry, there was no sell signal there, right? So with this right here, the entry came up at 713 right here at, well, I mean, the candle didn't close yet, but at the time of this entry right here, there was no sell signal. So there's no entry there for a momentum scalp variation. There might be a momentum scalp though. So if this here closes with the sell signal, then this here would be a momentum scalp. And I think if that happens, and I'll probably take it for 1030 because it's just overextended at this moment. And if we go for the 25.50, it might be too close to make some adjustments here. Never mind, this candle is too big. We can't even take the entry here, even if it closes. So this here would be a momentum scalp entry, but we wouldn't be able to take the trade because it goes right to the sessions. The candle is just a little too big right here. So no sell signal there yet. But even if we get the sell signal, it's going to be too close to the sessions below here. So we don't have anything here yet. So basically what I'm looking for here, guys, is, so we had an entry here for momentum scalp failure. That one already hit full TP, as you guys can see. I didn't take the trade, so it's not going to count as an official entry, of course. Being 100% transparent with you guys, even though the entry did come up there, it's not one that we're going to count because I didn't take it. The only trades that count are the ones that I take and the ones that I recommend taking. I was hoping to take the momentum scalp variation right here, but this here was not an entry because the momentum was not aligned. So you guys can see how choppy the market is this week, which is expected for NFP. But yeah, momentum scalp failure came up right here. That already hit TP. I didn't take it, so it's not going to count. I'm looking for a momentum scalp here. This right here is technically a momentum scalp, but it's not, it wasn't a red candle. I typically like it to be a red candle. 25.50 would be a little too far off. What I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to wait for this to come back down. If this comes back down from this point, I'll probably make a lead entry right here and just go for a quick 100 pips if I get opportunity. If I get the opportunity for it to come down. So I'm not in this position yet, guys. This is a momentum scalp entry though. So let me just go across real quick. We have a sell momentum trend across the board. We currently have sell trend across the 10-minute, 5-minute, and 1 minute. There's a sell signal here on the 10, sell signal here on the 5, and then the 1 minute over here is the sell signal for entry, but it's an invalid signal. I know it doesn't require a valid signal, but typically that's what I look for when I look for entries, specifically for the momentum scalp, because you want trades to be going in that direction. So I'm just watching this right here. If price ends up, so if this closes with a buy signal, this is going to be another reset. So it's basically going to reset the pattern. So we already had the pattern play out. Now we have another pattern here for the entire strategy set up to start over again. So what I was just saying, guys, is if price ends up providing a movement back to the downside, I was going to enter for a late entry here for price to come back down because I'm not in this position yet. The reason why I didn't enter it right away is because it's not a valid sell signal. In order for it to be valid, it needs to be a sell signal with a red candle within it, but this is a green candle. So it becomes a bit risky because you kind of get like a retracement there and you're not really going to be positive when price is actually going to come, right back down. So we'll see how it ends up coming right here. Let me see if my order could get filled for a sell. Yeah, it's not filled yet. So basically, I'm going to wait for this to, if this here closes with the buy signal, then I'm just going to look for some more entries up here because I'm just going to wait for things to come back down. There's no point in me entering this late if that becomes the case. But if it doesn't close, I'll put a sell stop right here and I'll just catch it as it comes down for a quick 100 pips. I think it'll come down eventually if it does come down. But if we get a buy signal here, it's going to be a setup for a momentum scalp. So I'm just going to maximize this to avoid any confusion. We already know the overall trend is bearish. We have bearish momentum as well. So there's two different things here that I'm looking at. There's one entry here, which is going to be a late entry for a momentum scalp. This trade never came up and blasted past this yet. So this trade's technically still running. So what I was looking for here is I was looking for the for price to come down and then fill it for a late entry. I know we can probably get it for a discount up here, but I'm not looking to enter at that point because if we get a buy signal up here, it's going to reset the strategies. So the first entry that would come up would be the momentum scalp failure. And then after that, I'd be looking for a momentum scalp variation to follow it right after. This is the one that I'm actually looking to take. Jonathan's asking 1030 because of the sessions. Yeah, because it's too close. So if you were to enter this right here for 2550, then at that point, it'd be a little too close. I mean, it's doable, but for that specific entry there, it's going to be a little close. Let me scroll up real quick. So we got a lot of questions here, guys. Let me just scroll up real quick and see if I'm missing anything. So we got a news event right here. Thanks, Peter, for the link. Link said that the, well, he didn't say anything. He just sent me this link here. It says live households hearing to investigate use of taxpayer dollars in COVID relief programs. All right, so that's going on in the background right now. Let me see what else I'm missing. All right, so I see other questions. Oh, so my TP just hit, guys. I had that pending sell stop right there for the momentum scalp. Momentum scalp came down and finally hit TP. So it did have some drawdown right here. But the trade that I told you I was waiting for finally played out. I just filled my order because I had a pending stop there. It filled my order and then it went straight to TP. Reason why we used a smaller TP stop loss was because the price is too close to the sessions. So I made 1,240 off that trade right there. I'll give you guys an update. Over here real quick. And it looks like a lot of you guys here actually took the trade as well. This was a momentum scalp. I only did 100 pips on that one though, because it's too close to the sessions. Not a failure, just a regular momentum scalp. So the trade came down right there and hit CP. That's pretty much what I locked in really quick. The buy signal never came up. So until we get that buy signal, there's not going to be an entry for a momentum scalp failure. So again, guys, this right here was not a FOMO move, right? I made it pretty clear to you what I was doing. I told you exactly what I was doing. I said, okay, there's a momentum scalp entry that was running right here. And I said, okay, when price comes down, I have a sell stop here. I'm looking for two different opportunities, either for a buy signal so I can enter, or I can look for a momentum scalp failure. But I did have a sell stop right there waiting for the momentum scalp. So you could have entered for a discount up here, or you could have entered exactly right here, went into drawdown, and then price would have came back down and hit your TP. So just want to clear the waters there so that you guys understand that. I try to make myself as clear as possible. So if there's any questions or anything that you guys need me to review so that you guys understand this, or if there's a reason why you guys didn't understand that this was an official entry, let me know so I can go over it. But I try to make it as detailed as possible. I broke it down for you guys. I explained to you why I didn't enter right away, because this wasn't a valid momentum signal. The requirements here isn't for a valid momentum signal. So this is still an entry here. But the reason why I didn't enter it right away was because of that specific reason. So what happened was when price pulled up over here, I ended up putting my sell stop, and I said, okay, I'm going to put a pending order here, and I'm just going to let it fill when it comes down. And what happened was the order did fill, and then it went straight to my TP. But it wouldn't make a difference. You could have entered right away. You still would have hit your TP. You could have entered from up here. You would have hit your TP. If you entered like I did down here, it still would hit your TP. So you had 3 different ways to enter this trade. But for me, since I wanted to be conservative and I wanted this trade to just play out smoothly, I just put my sell stop there, filled my order, hit my TP. And that's the trade that I took. So the next thing that we're looking for is just a reset of all these strategies. So everything pretty much played out already. We had the momentum scalp failure that came up over here with this buy signal. And then we had the momentum scalp that came up right here. And then now we're looking for another buy signal so that we can start over with another momentum scalp failure. Here, let me scroll up real quick. I just want to make sure. Hip said also, the best way to keep from FOMO is to learn the Kodi trade system. Watch the videos, understand the entries. The pre-market entry is based off strategies available in the training videos. The trade Sean takes offline are mostly based off the strategies in the trading videos. Even after taking those trades, the analysis for the live is to wait for the perfect trade. Yeah, exactly. 100% Kip. Yeah, Christian, I just saw your message there as well. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit. Just want to make sure there's nothing here. I want to make sure that nobody, if you guys asked a question and I didn't get to it, just repost your question and then I'll get to it. I think there was a question here from Alana. Alana asked, so Alana said, any thoughts on where that flush came from at 716? So 716 right here. So by flush, Alana, do you mean like, how did we anticipate that price was going to come down? Sorry, I haven't heard that term before, flush. I know some people use that like in the stock realm or options realm. People say flush, rips and stuff like that, but I don't really use those terms. So if you're talking about like why price came down like this, the main reason why I anticipated it and I already knew price was going to come down was because the overall bias here was bearish, right? So I already looked, we've been looking for a sell pretty much all morning, but we were waiting for that correction to come back down. So looking over here on the 10 and 5, we already knew price was going to come down. It was just a matter of price to come down from that point, right? But with regard to like the volatility of price coming down so heavily like that, I don't think there was anything that happened specifically. I know there was news coming up right here at 7:30, but at 7:16, I don't think there was any specific news aside from the news that came out at 7 o'clock. So let me check this. This might have been the push that you were, the catalyst for that push right there at 7 o'clock. Let me refresh this. We had high impact news right here. And so ISM manufacturing PMI was negative 47.4. And then JOLTS job openings were actually a lot higher. There were 11.01 million. So last month we had 10.44 million. And then this month we have 11.01 million, which is surprisingly because we thought people were getting laid off and stuff, but it looks like other sectors are hiring. So short answer to your question is this could have been the catalyst for that move that happened, just recently. Or, I mean, it could have just been a correction from today because we already knew price was coming down and price was kind of just pushing up and then this push down just came down right here, right after. The news happened over here at 7 o'clock. So this is news price. Basically, this whole area right here is movement from news, right? So this might have been the flush that you're referring to, like this big drop right here. There was news at 7 o'clock. It was the ISM manufacturing PMI, inflation news right here was negative. So it looks like a lot of people just bandwagoned on that move and just dumped right back below. But now that after that dump has happened, price is now going sideways. Man, I was hoping we'd get an entry right here, guys. So we have a possible entry here for a momentum scalp, but it's right at news price. We have news over here at 7:30, so it's not necessarily one that you'd want to take. It's too close to news price. We do have a momentum scalp failure that's currently running right now, or it probably hit TP already. There's a momentum scalp failure right there. It's technically still running at the moment, but we have news right here, so it's not a trade that we want to take. Right, because the price might react to news like it did over here at 7, right? News came out, prices jumped super heavily. So when news came out over here at 7 o'clock and price came down about, 1,116 pips. There's news again right here. Momentum scalp failure is technically running at the moment, but this is the news candle. So not exactly one that we'd want to take at that specific moment. Christian said, question, if it closed on the 5-minute and variation came later, is it valid now? No. So these come in order, Christian. So since we already had a momentum scalp, there wouldn't be an entry for momentum scalp variation, because these requirements here are now going to be passed, right? So for example, here, you're looking for the entries to come up, but after this has already been completed, it moves on to the next one. Because you can see like all these requirements here pretty much align with these, right? So you look for the overall trend here and you're looking for retracement momentum signal. These same requirements fall under these requirements here: confirm overall trend and then confirm retracement momentum signal. So these two right here are looking for the same thing. And then this one over here would be the last one. So we wouldn't enter it late. It would just reset the process. So this trade right here, guys, I just marked it up for you guys, but again, I'm not taking it. So don't FOMO into this trade. I think our main topic for the day is really FOMO. I'm gonna try to drill it into your guys' head, like, to do not take these specific trades. Don't get FOMO, and I'm like literally telling you not to take it because for the main reasons here that I mentioned, right? There's news. This was right at news candle. It was right before news candle. There's just a lot of reasons here not to take the specific trade. I know it'll probably hit, but if you guys want quality, then you got to keep away from the riskier trades and focus on the ones that are safer, right? So price is currently at news right now. And, I think that'll just be the main topic for the rest of the week, right? It's going to be me kind of reminding you guys, don't take these specific trades because it's not, well, it is fit the criteria, but there's red flags there, right? And I'll leave the red flags over here as well. So yeah, like I mentioned, I already mentioned to you guys that this is to not get FOMO, and that this is it's an entry, but it's not one that I would take because of the red flags, right? Price is news price. News just happened right there. So if you get FOMO with this move here, because I do think it'll probably hit, but it's really up to you guys to be in control of your account. If you guys take this trade here and it hits FOMO, and you got to understand that you took that trade because of FOMO, right? It's fine if that happens. Like, it's completely fine, but you got to understand that that was a FOMO move, so that in the future you guys aren't making the same mistakes. The reason why you don't want to take too many FOMO moves here and there is because you're going to start to build bad habits. You're going to start to take all the risky trades, and then you're not going to understand, why that trade lost and why this trade won. So just understand the difference between a FOMO move and a solid move that you feel comfortable about. So this right here, again, if this candle closes below the pivots, it's going to be a momentum scalp variation, but it's right at news price. So when to avoid trades when price is at news price, right? Again, this right here, these red flags, this is optional. So you guys can take these trades if you want, but for me personally, I'm not going to take it because I've been through it. I've been through it enough times where I've lost trades and I'm like, okay, why did I lose that trade? And I look at the red flag list and it was probably one of these things here. So that's why I skip those types of trades, but other people still take them. So, it's your responsibility to handle your account and do what you guys feel comfortable with. But I can't be the one to really tell you guys to not do something and then you guys still do it. All right, so let me just scroll down a little further. I just want to make sure that there's nothing else over here. So Hunter is asking, what TP stop loss would you recommend in the quick trade manager? I'm at 200K. and a 100K FTMO challenge. So your TP stop loss won't really matter with regard to your account size, Hunter. Your lot size would. So I think maybe that's the question you're asking, like what lot size to use. For me personally, for basically all of my trades, I usually use 100 lot because I'm pretty confident about the trades that I take. Like whenever I take a trade, I'll take it for 100 lot, whether it's 100 TP or 250 TP. For my stop loss, I'm usually, I like my default settings are going to be at like 5,000 on the points for stop loss and then 1,000 on the points for TP, which, or not, sorry, not 1,000, 200, 2,500. So basically my default settings for whenever entering these trades is going to be 2550 like this. However, if I feel that the range is too small, then I'll just adjust it, right? So I'll just go into my trade and I'll just adjust it slightly. So it's like set at 1030. But every time I enter a trade, I always have it set to just default 2550. And then I make adjustments within the trade if necessary. If that's like too much of if it's too quick for you and you're not able to do something like that, then I would recommend measuring the charts, right? So whenever you enter a trade, so for example, for this momentum scalp failure right here, I probably wouldn't have used a 1030 or 100, 300 because it's just too close, right? Like you don't want to have your range too close. I mean, yeah, it would hit your TP right away, but because it's moving like this, I'd probably use a bigger one. So there's no set specific one, but I usually like having it wider and then I'll make it tighter if I need to. But whenever I'm looking for an entry, so for example, if I'm looking for a sell or a buy here for this trade here, I look to see the range. So looking at the range over here, you can see that the range is kind of wide. So then I use a bigger TP stop loss. If the range is tighter, like for example, if I'm just going to go back real quick, guys, super quick. So for example, right here, we have a sell entry, right? I put my short position right there. And then I set it to 2550, right? I'm like, dang, this is way too far, right? Because the range here is not even that wide. Price hasn't been moving that fast. So if the movement here is really low, then I'm going to go for a 1030 split, right? Because this looks a lot better. Either way, they both probably hit, like that hit right there, 1030 and 2550 still hit. But due to the market conditions at the time of entry right here, I'm like, okay, the 2550 is way too wide. I'm just going to go for the 1030. And then from that point right there, let the trade run at full TP. So it's just up to the market conditions. You got to like, I know you're kind of new to the group, Hunter, so you're not really familiar with like how everything moves, but eventually you'll start to be able to identify, you know, which one you should be using, but there's just one of two of them. That's why I have two different setups there, depending on how the market's moving. So the momentum scalp failure right here hit full TP, guys. Again, you know, I don't have control over your FOMO. If you guys took the trade and you hit your TP, great. But understand that, you know, you probably took that trade because of FOMO, right? The thing here is that you guys are like taking these trades and you guys are understanding the risk behind them. So you guys are fine to take FOMO trades if you want, but you got to understand like that you took that trade because of FOMO. It wasn't because all your criteria lined up. It was because of FOMO. If you trusted the position, you would have just taken it without even thinking about it, right? So that's the difference between taking it with FOMO or taking it with just because the criteria was met, because the criteria was met here. All right, we got a sell signal coming up right here again for momentum scalp. However, the problem with this again here is that it's too close to the sessions below. So we can't use the 2550 here because it'll have to break through the sessions. And I think the 1030 over here is going to be a little too tight, because if price ends up retracing up right here, it may come up and hit, you know, stop loss before it comes back down. Man, I don't like the market. This whole week's kind of been all over the place. Like, unfortunately, it hasn't been a smooth move. I know for the past couple of weeks, it's been easy to take trades because like the market's been moving super smooth. But lately, it's kind of just but lately it's just there hasn't been really much movement. Like typically we'll have like this type of movement where it'll be easy for us to take trades, right? Price will drop, retrace, come back down further. Generally, this is how the entries have been coming up for the past couple months. So it's like easy to just enter the trade and just let it be, right? Lately, what's been happening is like we'll get price come up, we think it's coming down, then it just ends up going sideways like this, right? That's kind of what happened right here too, like where price is currently at. Price kind of came down a little bit, retraced, came down, and then now it just went sideways. So, all right. Barack said, took the FOMO together with a few of your analysis, logging out now. Okay, Barack, great work. Yeah, so if you guys have profits, I mean, a lot of you guys here posted your profits. So let's see. Anelli over here posted his profits, total profit of 4,540 for the day. Nice work, Anelli. We have Slava over here currently up 2,128 for the day. Nice work, Slava. Christian over here took a total profit of 917 for the day. Nice work, Christian. Solid. Maddie over here took some profits as well. Total profit of 660 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. Nelly over here took a full, so you posted this in the other group already, 4,540 for the day. Nice work, Nelly. So I'll read this in a little bit, Zach. Zach sent me a little bit of a longer message right there. Jay over here posted some profits too. Total profit of 1,499 for the day. Nice word, Jay. Yeah, solid profits right there. And then he took that last scalp over there for 100 pips, total profit of 1,886 for the day. Solid work, Jay. All right, guys. So other than that, there's just nothing for us to take right now. I mean, we're looking for something here to play out, but there's just nothing here at the moment. Let's see if there's anything else here. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Sorry, I'm just going over the messages. A lot of messages. I have like 30 messages here on the Zoom. So let me just zoom down real quick. Scrolling over here. Can you send me a link? Let me scroll down a little bit. Sorry, there's a lot of messages here in the Zoom, so I'm just going down real quick to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, Becky said, I'm tempted to FOMO when I see that gold bar signal. Yeah, no, the gold bar signal is usually a good signal because it's an indication that momentum is aligned with pretty much all the time frames. Ruin said, I like how you're talking to us as a group, no FOMO. Scroll down real quick. Okay, so Sheena said, so in the stop loss field, you would put 5,000 because, so she's asking, did she put 500 and 250? No, so you'd put 5,000 because it's going to be 500.1. But since you can't put a point in that box there, you just add a zero to it. So it's 5,000, 50000. Sorry, 5000, 3 zeros to fit that criteria. See if there's anything else here. I see your messages right now, Frederick. I didn't see the messages either. Frederick said he's responding to Da, but it looks like Da deleted his messages. All right, let me scroll down real quick. Fernando said you have a signal in the 5. Let me go check real quick, Fernando. So we already have a signal here on the 5. The sell signal came up at 7:10. So there's been a sell signal there from earlier. Yeah, I know, Maddie. Ruin said I'm out. Thanks, Sean. You're the man, bro. Grateful for you. Yeah, no, definitely, Ruin. All right, so there's a sell signal that came up right here, guys, but it was right at the session. So unfortunately, not an entry that we could take because it's one of the red flags. If you guys remember, we don't take any trades that are too near the horizontal lines here. So there's a sell signal right here that came up. It was right at this this lower sessions. And with that said, this technically could have been an entry for a momentum scalp, but we're not going to take it because it's at the red flag right here. We don't take any trades that happen at these. We don't take any trades that are basically either too close to the sessions, news price or opening price from the red flags over here. And since this one here is breaking right through it, we're definitely not going to take that trade there. Also, the candle's too big. So red flags way to avoid trades when price is near sessions, which is going to be this red line and this purple line up here. When price is near opening price, which is this blue line. When price is near news price, which is this pink line. And when the candle prior to entry is too large. So there's a couple of things here that line up. For one, it's right at the sessions. And for two, the candle here is just way too big. If you measure the candle, this candle right here is about 400 pips. It's huge. So yeah, unfortunately, no entry on that one right there. Jenny's asking, could you put up a list of the red flags? Yeah, sure. It's right there, Jenny, on the screen. I mean, the red flags haven't changed. They've been the same thing for, the past 2 years now, I think, 2 or 3 years now. It's just this one right here. Basically, any of the horizontal lines. So to make things simple, any of these lines that go from left to right, you don't take any trades around those areas. So it doesn't matter what color it is. I'm only putting these horizontal lines here for a reason to avoid trades at that point. Typically, the pink ones are going to be news price, blue lines are going to be opening price, and the red, purple, and green lines are going to be sessions. Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah, no problem, Jenny. Yeah, Jenny said you read my mind. I asked you before you put it up. So the news criteria that you're asking about, Jenny, it's not really required, but you're gonna get some spike in price when news comes around. So typically it's like 5 to 10 minutes. So like, for example, if I had news coming up over here at 7, like you could have gotten easily like this either would have hit your TP right away, or it would have hit your stop loss, depending if you're in for a buy or a sell, right, at 7 o'clock. So if I had an entry right here, like for example, the sell signal right here at 6:56, and I knew there was news coming up here at 7, I probably would have just skipped it. So there's no hard line rule for that. Typically if it's too close, I think 5 minutes is probably okay. But criteria is it's more of a soft criteria. That's why it's not here on the red flags, but it's just a given. Like everybody basically knows not to trade before or after news, right? Especially if you're trading something, not specifically US30, but if you're trading something like Forex, you can't enter or exit a trade at that time anyways, because FTMO will violate your account, right? That's one of their requirements. So it's not one of my requirements necessarily, but it's something that I look at because FTMO doesn't let you trade 5 minutes before or after. So yeah, so Jenny said maybe 10-minute if it's higher impact news. Yeah, so I mean, just in general, it's a soft requirement for me, but for FTMO, it's a hard requirement. So if you trade between those time periods and it's restricted news, then you violate your account. So I just don't trade between that time at all. Because the thing is, say for example, so like I mentioned right here, right, Jenny, you know how there was news here at 7 o'clock? if this dropped down and it hit your TP at 7 o'clock, it still would be considered a trade. So if it hits your TP and you get closed out at news price, even though you didn't plan on exiting at news price, you still would have been violated. You get what I'm saying? That's why there's like no point in really trading between like the 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after, because you really run that risk, because even though it spikes to your TP, you still violated your account because you exited a trade, or you executed a trade, within that time parameter, 5 minutes. So it's better to just sit it out. For me personally, that's what I would say. Let's see, we got some profits over here from Ernest. Ernest locked in a nice profit for the day, 160 times 4. So he locked in well over $500 for the day. Nice work, Ernest. Yeah, solid work right there. Yeah, Jay said YouTube's kind of late. Yeah, it's about 30 seconds late. So he entered without noticing the sessions, but thankfully he did hit his TP. So yeah, solid work right there. Eunice over here said he got FOMO in a trade, but made it back with a partial profit with a snipe entry. So nice work right there, Eunice. Total profit of 57.75 for the day. Got good work on that right there and good recovery. Shari over here as well. Lila, Shari over here said sending her profits because she needs to get profit. From total profit for Shari is 1,249 for the day. Nice work, Shari. Patrick over here said patience is the kryptonite to FOMO. Last trade, he waited over an hour to develop. Total profit right here from Patrick, 2,879 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Zach over here, he said he took the partial move on that momentum scalp. Total profit of 860 for the day. Nice work, Zach. Yeah, climbing your way back up. Ensong over here as well. Took all of his trades, full TPs, total profit of 1,865 for the day. Nice work, Ensong. Barack over here, he said done for real. Thank you for the sweet analysis. See you tomorrow. Cheers, bro. Definitely, Barack. So Barack over here is currently at 1,289 for the day. Nice work, Barack. All right, solid. Yeah, Gary said very choppy today. Thanks, Sean. Signing out, definitely. Some more profits here from Sisu, currently at 2,250 for the day. Nice work, Sisu. All wins, no losses. We got Maddie over here, total profit of 665 for the day. All wins as well. Nice work, Maddie. Kip over here, currently up 4,057 for the day. All wins as well. Nice work, Kip. Kip again over here, 6,637 for the day. Great work, Kip. And then C6 other account, 3,500 profit for the day. No trades for Natasha. That's fine. We've got Patrick over here, total profit of 1,040 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. He just took that one trade that we took earlier, hit his full TP on that move there. And we have Oscar over here. Nice work, Oscar. So for today, Oscar locked in a total profit of 1,098 for the day. Great work. So solid work, guys. Price did drop right here. We already knew price was going to drop, but there's no entries for us to take here specifically. There was a momentum scalp that came up right here, but it was right at the session. So it's not one that we could possibly take. I mean, you guys could have taken it, but I'm following my criteria here. So, I guess I'll do my best, guys, to not FOMO into trades. So I kind of did that today. I took no FOMO trades. So like, hopefully that'll help you guys understand, this is the discipline. Yeah, you could have taken a lot of these trades here, but I avoided any risky trades that I could have taken. Like there's a lot of trades here I could have taken, right? I could have taken this momentum scalp because it did fit criteria, but I didn't take it because it was at my red flags, right? So that's me showing you that I have control over my FOMO. Yeah, yesterday, I'm gonna be straight up. I did have FOMO and I took like 1 or 2 trades that I probably shouldn't have taken, but I took them because they met my criteria and my, the strategies I was looking for. But I can show you today that I had discipline. And even though there was a bunch of trades here that hit, there was this trade here that hit, but it was at my red flag. So I didn't take it. No FOMO there. I didn't make any profit off that. There was another trade here that came up, right? The momentum scalp failure. I could have taken that trade there too, which would have hit full TP, but I didn't have FOMO, so I didn't take the trade, right? The only trades I took here was this one, Momentum Scalp, which was not considered a FOMO move because I did explain to you that, okay, I was waiting for price to come back down and I was going to have a sell signal there. So I let the trade play out and it went straight to my full TP. I told you I was going for 100, 300 TP stop loss, and that's what I did, right? So I did what I said I was going to do and it played out. But yeah, there was like 4 or 5 FOMO trades here that came up, but I didn't take any of those trades. So use that as experience to like understand that, you know, there's trades that are going to hit and they're going to be considered FOMO trades, but it's not that difficult to just avoid them. Like, yeah, sure, I could have made a lot more profit today. Like, for example, let me screenshot my my account so far. Okay, so here are all my profits so far for the day. This is including the official trade that we took right here. So I locked in 1,750 off my FTMO number 2, 1,900 off my FTMO number 1, 1,550 off my MFF number 1, 1,550 on my MFF number 2, and 1,550 off my MFF number 3, plus, you know, 500 on my TFF. Those are from the official trades. I could have FOMO'd and I could have made more profit, but I'm trying to teach you guys good habits here, not to FOMO into trades. So, you know, that's that. So it's about to be 8 o'clock right now, guys. I don't think we're going to have any other entries here, unfortunately. You know, there was a couple entries here that came up, but they were just a bunch of red flags. So sessions here, of course, that's one of the main ones. And then news price over here and et cetera. There just wasn't any good movement here. Price was kind of going sideways a lot. And then it ended up, you know, coming down at some point. Here, let me just scroll up real quick, see if I missed anything. Ernest said, thank you, Sean, you're the man. Definitely, Ernest. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Van Hartwig said, thank you, Sean. See you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Let me scroll up real quick. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions here. Angelo's asking, when you're saying you're taking a trade, are you buying or selling? So Angelo, it depends on the criteria here, right? So for example, you know, pretty much all session, I've been mentioning that we confirm the overall trend, right? So we trade in the direction of overall trend. So for example, here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute, we've been confirming pretty much all morning that we're looking for a sell, right? Because we currently have a downwards trend. Price here is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. On the 10 minute, we're looking for the same thing on the 5. Again, price here is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. And lastly, here on the 1 minute, we're looking for the same exact thing, right? Price again here is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. So when the trend is going in one direction, we are looking for specifically sells. When trend is going upwards, then we're looking for buys. So for this morning today, since the trend here has been bearish pretty much all morning, that's the direction that we know to trade in. So wherever the trend's going, that's the direction that we're looking. So if the trend is going down, we're looking for a sell. If the trend is going up across all time frames, we're looking for a buy. That's pretty much what we're looking for. And then also like what Becky mentioned over here, and this is fine, right? Because Angelo here is brand new, guys. So Angelo is asking a good question because he doesn't know. And these are questions that you guys need to ask. If you guys are brand new to trading and you guys don't have any idea of what we're doing here, you know, ask any question. Don't feel like it's a dumb question because, you know, everyone starts somewhere. Another thing that you can look for here, Angelo, is when I put up my positioning tool. So if I have something like this, when it's green, this means that we're looking for a sell because we're looking for price to come down, right? Green is good, red is bad. So if the green's below, that means we're looking for a sell. So if I set up an entry here and you got everything all lined up here, then I'm looking for a sell, right? Vice versa. If I set up another chart here and the green's on top, then this means that we're looking for a buy. So I just want to clarify, you know, I know a lot of you guys here are brand new, especially that you guys who are participating in the mentorship for February. So I want to make sure that everybody here is on point and in line with each other. So if there's any questions that you guys have, you know, feel free to ask away. There's no dumb questions here, especially if you're new. If you ask the same question for like the past 2 years, then okay, that might be a dumb question. But if you guys are brand new and you guys are asking like basic questions, it's completely fine. So I just want to make sure that you guys get that because and where's Steven at? I was like messing with Steven because he asked a lot of the same questions and he's been around for like 4 or 5 years, but he's not here today. But you guys know Steven, right? Steven, like we joke around with Steven like almost every day whenever he's in the group. but he jokes around with us. So like this back and forth banter. We're not like making fun of him. He's always joking around and we're joking with him and he understands that we're just joking. But Steven's like one of the guys that does ask a lot of the same questions. So sometimes people get frustrated when he asks questions, but don't let that deter you guys from asking questions. Because Steven's like different. He's different compared to everybody else here that's new. He's going to ask questions like that, and we can't really tell if he's messing around or if he's being serious. Yeah, Jessica said that color switch was helpful to understand for this newbie. Yeah, no, definitely, Jessica. No problem. So yeah, guys, if you guys have any other, oh, okay, gotcha. I'm not sure if you're being serious, Angelo. But yeah, no, with the direction here, you don't have to look at the color because, you know, if the color is hard to see, then yeah, definitely should not look at the color there. But okay, so I'm just joking. Well, I was kind of like curious because Angelo said, because someone responded to Angelo and said, look at the color of the box, and Angelo said, I'm colorblind, but he really is colorblind. So okay, gotcha. Yeah, no. So the easiest way for you to figure out, Angela, because you can't see the colors, obviously, it won't be as clear. You would just listen for the direction of trend. So every time we look for an entry here, I'm going to tell you guys, okay, trend here is bearish. Bearish means for a sell. If I tell you trend is bullish, then that means that we're looking for a buy. So basically, you want to look and make sure. MJ is here too, Angelo. So MJ is the guy that's laughing at you with the M. MJ from UCLA. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. Another question over here from Martha. Okay, so I'm going to go down the questions, guys, because there's no entries for us to take right now. We're past 8 o'clock, so there's nothing for us to take. We would have looked here for a buy entry, but we not a buy entry, for a buy signal, but it's already past 8. So if you guys are looking for entries here, the first thing to look for would be a momentum scalp failure, which would be a buy signal. But I'm not looking to take anything here. So let me just answer the questions. Martha said, I'm confused as to when you call out official trades, because it seems to me that every trade you call out, you are not taking for one reason or another, but then you do take it. So I miss it. So for this right here, Martha, we only had one official trade today, right? So all the other trades where I explained why we didn't take the trade was because we actually didn't take the trade. There's only one trade that was official today, which was this one. And the reason why this one's official is because I kind of like said it directly, right? So there was a lot of entries here that I marked up and I said, okay, these are not official trades because of a specific reason, right? So looking over here at this buy signal, so let me just break it down. I'm going to go down from step one. So typically, these are all the official entries that you can take because these are the main strategies that we're looking for. But whenever we have these entries that come up, I typically don't take the first one here because this one here is going to be the riskiest, right? I only take these two down here. The reason why this is the riskiest is because this is the first leg of the move. So like this, basically you have 3 legs. You have one leg here, and let me just go back. I'll just replay it. Okay, so with this right here, this is the first leg. It would be a momentum scalp failure. We had a downwards trend. We had a retracement signal right here. I mentioned, okay, I'm not going to take this trade. Like this came up and I said, okay, I'm not taking this trade because this is the first one. So to avoid any confusion, I'm usually not going to take this first one. Like whenever this comes up, I'm going to mark it up for you and I'm going to use this as a confluence. So this right here came up and I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to take this trade. Or I said, I'm for sure not going to take this trade because I typically don't take the momentum scalp failure. So with this right here, this is not going to be one that I'd be taking. I just mark it up for you guys so that you guys can see, because a lot of people in the group still like to take these riskier trades. This is considered risky to me, so I don't take it. The trade that I was looking for was going to be a momentum scalp variation. This right here didn't qualify as a momentum scalp variation because there was no sell signal here on the 5 and 10 at the time. So for that there was no entry. The only official trade that I took today was this one right here, right? Or not that one. It was the one that came up after it. So this one right here was the only official one. There was no news at this time, so this pink line wasn't here at the time. But what I said was for this entry here, and this is going to be for the momentum scalp, the regular momentum scalp. And I'm just going to clarify everything here so that you guys can see. And I know that you're kind of new here, Martha, so you're not familiar with all the strategy. So with time, you're going to understand what's official. what's risky and what's one that I'm not taking, because I do the same thing every day, right? We're looking for the same exact thing. So, you know, if you've been following along for the past couple months or so, whenever these entries come up, this specific one, I almost never take this trade. And I remind everybody that I never take this trade here. So whenever this comes up, I'll literally tell you, okay, I'm not taking this trade because it's too risky. The trades that I typically take are these two right here. So I was looking for this one, but the criteria wasn't met, right? Because there was no sell signal, so I couldn't take this entry over here. However, this one over here was an official entry. So what I said when this trade came up was, I said, okay, this is a momentum scalp entry, but I'm going to hold off on entering it right away. The reason why I was holding off on entering it right away was because it wasn't a valid momentum signal. For a momentum signal to be valid, you want it to be a red signal. So this is technically a red signal. I know it's gold, but technically it's red. The reason why I know it's red is because after every signal, it's the opposite. So you have a red signal, green signal. After green signal, it's a red signal. So in order for this to be valid, it needs to be a red signal with a red candle within it, right? So since you don't have a red candle within it, this is considered invalid with regard to momentum, but that's not a requirement here. For the requirement on the momentum scalp, you're confirming overall trend. Everything here is bearish. You want to confirm momentum on the 10-minute. We had a sell signal right there. You want to confirm momentum on the 5-minute, which we have right here, sell signal. And then lastly, here on the 1-minute, this is where you make entry. So when you make entry, you confirm momentum on the 1-minute time frame. So with that said, this right here, you could have entered right away. Like you could have just entered right on open. But what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to hold off on this because, so the thing that threw me off here, my thought process was that this right here was a valid entry for momentum scalp failure, but I don't take that because it's risky. However, the entry right here that follows after, it didn't meet criteria, right? Because we were looking for this to come up. So we look for this entry to come up, then this one to come up, and then this one to come up. If these come up in order, then I'm going to take these two here because these are for sure going to hit most of the time. The reason why I waited on this one was because, for one, there was no momentum scalp variation that came up because the criteria wasn't met. And then for the momentum scalp over here, I didn't want to take it right away because it was an invalid signal. So you kind of have like two things that are kind of lingering in your head, right? Okay, this is a risky trade to me because, for one, this entry didn't come up. Usually this comes up right before it. And then for two, this wasn't a valid momentum signal. So with that said, I didn't enter this right away, but I didn't say that, okay, I'm not going to take this, or that this was like too risky. I said, okay, I'm going to wait for it to push up. And what I did was I set a pending order down here. So I put a pending order right here for a sell. So that, and I mentioned like during this time, is that, okay, the reason I'm doing this right here is because when price comes down, it's going to automatically fill my order. So when price finally comes down to this point, it's going to enter my trade, and then it's going to come down and blast through my profit target, right? So price was right there. It came down. I was giving you guys an explanation, so I wasn't really paying attention, but I already set my order there. So my order filled, and then when it filled, it went straight through to my profit target. So does that make sense, Martha? I just kind of want to make sure that you're understanding. I know you're new here, so it's not necessarily gonna yeah. So I think that the main thing that you can do to get better at understanding when a trade is official and when it's unofficial is to just rewatch the previous live sessions, right? This week is probably going to be not the best time to see for official trades because we didn't have any official trades this week. But if you look back to the previous week, what you can do is you can pull up the chat. So just pull up the chat here and then look up when we had trades, right? So if you pull up the results, like what you can do here is you can see when we took official trades. So if you look at the live session, so for example, here, you look at the results and you can see we have two official trades right here on Monday, January 23rd, right? If you want to see an example of like when these official trades are taken, just go to the YouTube channel, go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on this to go to the YouTube channel, go to the live over here. And then you'll see, okay, like what day did Sean take official trades? Right here it says January 23rd, right? What you can do here is you go down to January 23rd, you click on this video right here, and you're like, okay, I want to see an example of an official trade. So you go over here, you pull up the video from the live stream that day, and then you just fast forward until I took that entry, right? So you just look for the entry for the time when I took that entry. So we look at the time here. What was the timestamp? 23rd. You can look up the timestamp over here. I took this trade at about 7:58, right? So what you can do is just scroll forward to like, oh, actually, so you're not going to be able to pull out. Sorry, this is the day when the YouTube got disconnected. So you can't actually pull up the trade from this day because it only ran for like 15 minutes. But if you want to do that, you can go further back and you can look, okay, when did Sean take another trade, right? You look over here and you're like, okay, he took some official trades over here on Tuesday, January 17th and Wednesday, January 18th. So what you can do here is you can pull up the video from that day. You go over here to the 17th, pull that open. So on the 17th over here, I took a trade at 8:08, right? So what you can do here is you'll just zoom out, or not zoom out, you'll pull forward to like 8:08. And then you can just rewatch the replay from when I took that trade, because all my live streams are recorded. So if you want to go on and rewatch it, that's going to be a way to really get in tune. Because if you guys will see that I'm doing the same thing every day. I know it's going to be kind of confusing at the beginning because you haven't seen enough like live sessions, but once you see enough live sessions, you'll be able to just review it and you'll be like, okay, this is what Sean says. These are the key words that he says when he's taking trades. And then in the future, you'll know what to listen for. Because there's a couple key words that I say. Like, I'm like, okay, if this happens and this happens, then I'm going to enter a trade. Or if this happens and this happens, then I'm going to put a sell stop here, or I'm going to put a pending order here for the order to fill. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Martha, I think that's the main way to really see and tell the difference between official and unofficial trades. Like what you can do is you can rewatch the live session from today, and then you can pretty much say, okay, these are entries that Sean looked at, but they're unofficial because for the specific reason. And then you go back to the 17th, and you're like, okay, Sean took official trades on the 18th and the 17th. This is what he said during this day. Okay, I understand the difference now. So yeah, try that first, Martha. And if you're still confused, just let me know and I'll try to change things up. Because I know I talk a little fast sometimes. I don't really have time to really explain stuff in detail because these trades come up super quickly. Rashida said, how do you put your pending orders so fast? So on MT4, I can't drag it over, but I just right click on the chart. Rashida, like I just right click like that. And then when I right click, it says sell limit for whatever lot size I have on my quick tool. So like, for example, like for this right here, right, Rashida, price was like up here, right? And I was like, okay, I want to set a sell stop here. I'm going to open up my MC4. I'm going to go right to this candle right here, right click on it. And then there's going to be a button that says sell limit. It's going to place your sell limit there. And then once it places your line right there, you can just edit it. So you can go into it and then edit the numbers. So for example, here, if the number is at 33,930 and I'm going for 100 pips, then what do I have to do? I just got to change the 3 to a 2, right? It's just, I know it sounds like a little complicated, but like once you do it a couple of times, it's pretty easy because you're just subtracting like one number from the last two numbers. So the number here is 33,930. I'm like, okay, if I'm going for 100 pips, I'm going for 10 points. So I just changed that to 33,920. And then my TP, I'm just going to add 3 to that. So instead of 33,930, I'm going to put 33,980, right? So you're just adding a basic number to it at the end. And that's how I do it quickly. It'll come with practice. I know sometimes it's a little difficult, but you guys will see that sometimes I'll just be looking off my screen for a couple of seconds because I'm setting up that pending order. Question from Jessica. Jessica is asking, would you have made the trade when the stick hit the line right between the red and green line? Red and green line. Let's see, Jessica's asking. Which one are you talking about, Jessica? I'm trying to see which one you're referring to. So you're saying that when the stick hit the line between. Oh, okay. Okay. You're talking about the setup that I had earlier. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to, it's not on here anymore, but let me just draw it for you. So that's basically what I did there, Jessica. So like, let me just set this up real quick. So the entry was right here, right? You're talking about this box here. So yeah, your entry technically would have been when price hit here, but what happened was I set a pending order. So instead of hitting buy and sell, and this might be a little too complex for you, Jessica, right away, because you got to be really quick. Like you got to like click, set your order, and then get into the trade. But yeah, if you're doing it manually, so for example here, say a price came down like this right here, right, Jessica, and you're just like doing it manually because you don't know how to set a pending order yet. If you saw price come down and you saw the candle hit this like middle part right here, then yeah, at that point you could hit sell and then you would be in the position. And then eventually price would come down and then it would just blast right through your profit target right there. So yeah, your entry would have been right here if you're doing it manually. For me personally, if I'm waiting for a pending order, I just set one that's waiting there automatically. I can show you guys that probably during the mentoring session, how to do something like that. It's a little more difficult because there's more things involved with setting up a pending order. But yeah, if you were to do it manually, like if you're just watching my screen and you see price come down right here, you just hit your sell button, and then that's how you would enter the trade for a pending order. So, all right, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, thanks for all the input, Frederick. I did see your messages in the group. All right, yeah, if you guys posted any questions in the group, I saw there was like a lot of messages today. Typically the chat's pretty quiet for the most part, but there's just a lot going on today, so I wasn't able to identify everything. So if you guys asked a question and I didn't get to it, just drop your question in the chat right now and then I'll cover it. I know there's a lot of stuff going on because we have the mentorship going on, so we have a lot of brand new traders in the group. And that's perfectly fine, but I just don't want to miss anybody's question. So if you guys had a question and I missed it, my bad. Just go ahead and put your question again, and then I will answer it before we get off this live session. It's 8:15 right now, so it's well past our trading time. I'm just going to screenshot my accounts over here as well so that you guys can see what I locked in for today. There was only one official trade that we had, and that's pretty much it. We just had one trade today. Hopefully tomorrow market will pick up a bit. Obviously the market hasn't been very smooth this week. It is NFP, so it's expected, but I'm hoping tomorrow will be a lot smoother than it was today. All right, yeah, Zach said price is ranging, hitting out. He's heading out. Well, he's up 0.8%. Yeah, definitely, Zach. It's best to be, obviously smart about it. So I got that right there, and then my TFF. All right. Thanks, Kenny, for the link. Let's see what Kenny posted. It says Donald Trump opens 2024 presidential run. Says he's more committed than ever. Oh man, this is gonna be an interesting year with Trump running for president again. I think it'll be fun because it's gonna cause a lot of volatility in the market, which is a good thing for us. Yeah, so Trump just announced his run for presidency. I don't think he'll get it, but I mean, we'll see. I don't think he might have to run as independent because I don't think the Republicans will let him take House again. Anyways. And Jenny said, well, does that mean more profits? I mean, it's going to be pretty crazy. He's going to cause price to move like pretty volatile. Anyways, let me go ahead and just show you guys my profits. So here are my accounts so far, guys. I just want to be very clear about what we took today and what was official and what wasn't. This first trade over here was not an official trade. This was taken pre-market, right? I was applying the momentum scalp variation before market open, but then I ended up having to close out early because we got too close to market open. This trade over here with the green strip, this is the momentum scalp that we took over here, or the one that I posted earlier. So we only had one official trade, this one right here. You guys can see that it hit my full TP because it has a green strip. So I locked in 1,900 off my FTMO number 1. I locked in 1,750 off my FTMO number 2. Locked in 1,550 off my MFF number 1. 1,550 off my MFF number 2. 1,550 off my MFF number 3. And then 432 off my TFF. So these are my accounts so far. Only one official trade. Unfortunately, I was hoping we'd have more movement today, but we did have movement, but no actual entries that fit our criteria. So these are my profits across all my accounts. So like looking over here, let me see what else we have. We have Maria over here, or Nathan actually. Nathan with a total profit of 240 for the day. So solid work right there, Nathan. We have my brother Justin over here, total profit of 1,460 for the day. Solid. We have Maria over here. She said, done for the day, just recovered the losses from Monday. Total profit of 189 for the day. Solid work, Maria. All wins. Let me just copy these over real quick. I'm going to post it up over here. Sorry, guys, I might have double posted something here. Send this over here. And send this over here. So guys, just a reminder, if you guys are confused about like, you know, the entries that we're taking or like what's considered official and what isn't, just do what I mentioned to Martha earlier. And that's going to be the easiest way for you guys to understand, you know, what's official, what isn't, what are red flags and et cetera. Like I have live sessions for like 3 to 5 years that are set up over here, guys. So if you guys haven't looked at the YouTube channel, just go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/KodiKaiTrades, click on live and just watch any previous live session because I do the same thing every day. So if you guys are confused about what's official, what to take, what's risky, what's not risky, you know, there's so much data here where you can watch pretty much live sessions on live sessions. Like it's impossible to watch all of these here. But if you guys pop up any of these, like for example, if you don't have anything to do and you want to do something that's productive, just go back and watch the previous live session. Watch any of them. Anything with the blue background's a live session, and you can see and understand, you know, what's official and what's not, so that when we have the next live session tomorrow, you guys won't be confused and you guys won't be getting FOMO with like certain entries and whatnot. So that's going to help you guys understand, you know, what to look for. Because I use the same keywords every time. Usually the keywords is if this happens and I'm going to enter this trade, if this happens and I'm going to enter a buy stop, etc. So let's see if there's anything else over here real quick. Yeah, so like Natasha over here, she said, no trades for me today, just listen. Market not stable enough to trade on my phone. Yeah, exactly, Natasha, that's solid. And then Martha over here, nice work, Martha. Total profit of 1,120 for the day. Full TP with that green strip. Solid work. So, all right, guys, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing before we wrap this up. So let's see, just one input from Zach over here. I'm going to read this real quick. So Zach said, here's my take on the FOMO thing. Honestly, I think it's only seeing you take trades that gives newer people FOMO, not other people in the group posting profits. I know personally, I felt FOMO when I see you post profits after you made a speculative move during a session where I've been disciplined and haven't made any trades. That's on me though. So I don't think there's much you can do about people getting, yeah. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you guys too. Like I can't control what you guys do on your account, right? Like I know you guys sometimes will get FOMO if you see me make profits, but that doesn't give you an okay to just take random trades, right? So like what Zach said here as well, he admitted that like, you know, he gets FOMO too when he sees me post profits, but there's no official trades. But you know, there's nothing that I can really do to fix that. He needs to be disciplined himself. And then Zach said, maybe if you posted your speculative moves at the end of the day instead of the middle, well, that'd be hard because if I can't just like, so for example, I took one trade here pre-market, right? I'd have to black out this right here, but people would wonder like, why am I blacking out these top profits, even though they're a win? So I don't think there's any way that I could necessarily do it. Yeah, Zach said, might help the weak-minded AKND people, but on the other side of things, they may never learn if they yeah. So the thing with like trade psychology and FOMO, guys, is that like this is a skill that you guys have to build yourself. You know, like for example, for me, I'll see a lot of these entries here and I'm not going to take them because I know that they're risky entries. That's something that you guys have to develop yourself. So I know this is gonna be a big topic. Well, this was a big topic today, but you know, don't let this bog you guys down, right? And it's fine. You know, people are free to ask questions and whatnot, but I can only tell you guys as it is, right? I can't tell you guys to do every single thing. And it's fine. You know, people are welcome to ask questions and I'll give my response, but I'm going to give you guys like the real response. I'm not going to beat around the bush and tell you like, oh yeah, you have to learn how to do this to do that. Realistically, I still take FOMO trades and I've been trading for over 10 years now. It just comes and goes. It's not necessarily something that's sustainable. Right? You can't just go on forever and not ever take a FOMO trade. It's going to happen every so often. So let's see. Jessica's asking, I know, right, Jenny? It's 100%, 100%. Jessica's asking, where do we find a timestamp on when you made official trades? So Jessica, if you go to the announcements group over here, every post here has a timestamp, right? So if you look over here, or if you click on any of these charts, so whenever we have an official trade where it says like full TP or something like that, like for example, today, right? You just go to the announcements channel, you scroll up and you're like, okay, Sean took this trade right here. You just click on the picture and it'll have the timestamp right there on the screenshot. So it says, okay, 7:23 right there, right? That's where you get the timestamp. Or if you just look over here on this little corner, it'll have the timestamp right there as well. So you can find it either on the chat, or you can just pull, like whenever you see a picture like this, you click on it and it'll have the timestamp right up here as well. So it'll have the date and timestamp here. Okay, February 1st, 7:23. You really just need the date. You don't really need the timestamp. You need the date. So you're like, okay, when did this trade take? February 1st. And then you just pull up the live session from that day. You're like, okay, what day was February 1st? You pull up the live sessions. You're like, okay, this live session was on February 1st. You click on that, and then that will give you the video for that specific session. Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Camo over here said, just a shout out to Sean. Do be calling trades for his groups and giving pointers. That's dope. Even if he doesn't take them, I prefer that over losing signals back to back. It's hard to adapt to rare people. Thanks, Camo. Yeah, no, definitely. You know, I'm going to try to give you guys as much knowledge as possible, right? If I see entries here and I think they're risky, I'm going to show you guys the entry so that you guys can understand why is it risky. You know, if I just showed you guys official entries and never showed you guys risky entries, you guys could never tell what the difference is between the two. So that's why whenever I see an entry on here, guys, I show you guys, I show you guys both. So I'll show you guys a risky entry, but I'm like, okay, I'm not taking this trade, so that you guys can understand in the future, okay, I should probably not take this trade as well because Sean told me that this was risky in the past. So that's why I show you guys risky trades, unofficial trades, and official trades, so that you guys have the ability to really tell the difference between what's risky, what's not, what's official, and what's not official. Yeah, exactly. No, Jessica said, as a new mom, I need a timestamp. Can't watch the full videos. Need to just, yeah, exactly. You just need to cut the parts out of that, Jessica. So what I would recommend, Jessica, is when you guys pull up these videos. So for example, if you're to pull up the session from today, or let me see if I could find one here. I forgot what date was the other trade that we were looking at. I think it was like on the 6th or something. All right, so one thing that you can do here too, Jessica, and this is just because Jessica's brand new to trading, she's not familiar with this stuff. What you can do is you can just pause it, and then you can kind of scroll through here. And then I know it's kind of hard to see, but if you just look at the little thumbnail right here, look for when I have those little charts on the screen, right? The green and red. Because if you scroll down to that point, you could just fast forward to right here and like, okay, he has the green and red bar right there, so he's probably going over a strategy. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but this is a little trick that you can do. Like, okay, why did he put up the green box there, right? You'll play that, and then from there you can just play the video. And then typically whenever I have those that green and red box there, I'm giving an analysis. Like, I'm okay, this is why the trade played out. Like right there, for example, you can just replay it, and then you can listen to my analysis there for each specific trade. So that's another way for you to just fast forward through these videos. 'Cause I know these videos are long. Each live session is about 2 hours. So, you know, it's going to take some time to like get used to it. All right, let me see. One more question here from a question from Vince. Vince is asking, hey, bro, how come my chart is 10 minutes behind? This is my first week back. There's so much new stuff. So Vincent, the YM data right here, you have to pay for this data. So if you're not paying for this data, you're going to get delayed data. It'll be yellow right here, and I'll say delayed 10 minutes. For me, it's real time because I pay for this data. It's about $4 a month if you want to get it. You don't have to get it because I'm analyzing everything for you here in the live session. But if you want to get data for YM, you would go to your billing settings and then just add the CME data. The reason why you have to pay for it is because this data is the fastest, most accurate data that you can get. Not necessarily the fastest and most accurate, but it's up there because it's paid data from the exchange. So like if you type in US30, you can see that it has brokers right here, right? So these brokers set their own prices and they can manipulate price. So they basically have their own pricing for it. However, for YM over here, we're getting the data directly from the exchange. So you can see right here, Chicago Board of Trade. You're basically getting this from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, basically like directly from the market. So you're getting raw price, raw data, raw volume, like pretty much the things that you need to scalp. So that's why you have delayed data. You don't have to have this, but if you're on the live sessions, I mean, you just follow along with me. But if you really want it, it's $4 a month to have CME data. If you want the ICE data, it's like 100 something a month, but I don't think it's necessary. I think CME is perfectly fine from what we've been doing here. But that's how you would get the data for YM. Here, and I'll text you a little later too, in case you're not here on the live. Let's see. All right, so I think that might be it, guys. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. You guys are more than welcome to email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, or you guys can message me on Telegram. That's probably gonna be the fastest way to get in touch with me. It's 8:30 right now, so it's well over 8. We typically stop trading at 8 o'clock. So that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow, let me check the calendar real quick. We have news again tomorrow, pre-market. We have unemployment claims, prelim non-farm productivity, prelim unit labor's cost, for factory orders, natural gas storage, and that's about it for tomorrow. And then on Friday is the biggest news day. We have NFP. So yeah, hopefully the market starts to move a bit smoother as we continue on with the week. But if not, we're just going to keep rolling with it, and we're going to take trades as they come along. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, go ahead and post your profits in the groups, guys. Again, we're going to be showcasing these profits later. So if you guys want to be on the YouTube video later today, just post up your profits and I will add them to the list. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys back here tomorrow, same place, same time, as we continue on with the trading week. Otherwise, if you guys have